Hello, everyone. Around this time last year, I started working with a coach. I was really struggling with getting sales for my business, and I knew I needed help. When I started my business 2 years ago, I didn't have any type of sales background. I could engineer the crap out of something, I could write an amazing computer program that would fit a set of objectives, but I had no idea how to sell my services or sell myself. So I did what any good entrepreneur should do, and I hired a coach. This is a coach that had gotten a lot of success for a lot of people, and he had a framework. So the framework, in and of itself, was fantastic. It's well researched, well documented, and it works really well for some people. So it's not the coach's fault that it didn't work. It's not the framework's fault that it didn't work for me. But at the same time, it wasn't exactly my fault either. Ultimately, what it came down to was that my personality did not fit into this framework. The specific method of selling that the coach was teaching didn't fit with the brand I wanted to build. And a lot of the things that I did at the time just didn't feel right to me. But I was so desperate to make it work that I just kind of went along with it anyway. And that's 100% on me. At any point, I could have said, you know what, this doesn't feel right. I don't think this is the right method. But I didn't. So the only thing I can really do at this point is own that. I've had about a year or so to digest the experience, and I've realized a couple of things. There were certain specific parts of the system that didn't work. However, by tweaking them just a little bit, I was able to come up with a much better system for me. It may not work as well as the original, but when I sold using the original system, I ended up with clients that weren't a good fit, and I still get clients using it. Now I'm using a slightly modified system. And because it's modified, I'm a lot happier and it's working so much better. But ultimately, I had to figure out a lot of that on my own because that specific coach didn't pivot. So again, the framework wasn't the problem, the coach wasn't the problem, but that particular system didn't fit with my personality or the brand I was building. And I just didn't know that until we were really far into the process. For the longest time, I thought there was something wrong with me because it wasn't working. It took me far longer than it should have for me to realize that what I really needed to do was shift my mindset. So once I did that, everything really started to change. This is something in particular that I see a lot in the current coaching industry. It seems like everybody has this one method that works. The ads will tell you about this one thing that's going to solve all of your problems, just like magic, right? All of a sudden, you're going to make all your dreams come true. You're going to have all of your business goals just amazing, and they're going to be so much faster than anything you ever could have imagined. It's like that silver bullet. Only then it doesn't work. There are a lot of reasons why it doesn't work, and it doesn't mean that whatever the coach is teaching is awful, but there's so many different variables that go into running a business. And on top of it, every business is so different. Even within the same industry, every brand is going to approach things differently. This is 100% how things should work. You'd need more than one flavor of ice cream. Imagine how boring our world would be if everything was vanilla. So instead, I pose this. What if we modify things to make them work for the people who are using them? What if instead, when we work with somebody one on one, we really dive into what they need and we make our stuff work for them, not the other way around? So I'm not talking about that tough love approach here, and sometimes you really need that. Somebody came to me and said, you don't need marketing or sales in order to run a business. I'm going to laugh and ask, what the heck is the punchline here? There's certain things about business that are never going to go away. However, there's always a million and one ways that we can get from point A to point B, and we need to stop acting like there's one way. It's okay to meander slightly off course every now and then. This is one of the reasons why I love the HubSpot flywheel model. If you haven't heard me talk about it before, essentially, HubSpot says that you need to do three things in order to market your business. You need to attract people, you need to engage with people, and then you need to delight your customers. Heck, I think you should just delight everybody. The reason why I love this is because there's so many different ways to do each of these things. So, for example, let's go with the attraction stage. These days, I'm seeing a lot of stuff about how video is the future. People will tell you that video is the only way you're going to be able to market your business moving forward in 2021. Obviously, that's not the case. Video is a fantastic way to market your business, and if you can do it, I think you're silly not to try it. However, video marketing is not going to work for everyone. If you are terrified about getting up in front of a camera, if you've got a loud environment that's never going to be quiet, or if you are just genuinely uncomfortable and you can't find a way of getting comfortable that's within your budget, then it's just not going to work for you. People are going to see that you're super uncomfortable and they're going to get distracted by those loud background noises. That just means the whole thing is going to fall completely flat. Facebook is a fantastic way to market your business. With so many people on it, I can guarantee that at least some of your ideal clients are on Facebook. For some people, Facebook ads are going to work wonders. Others, they're going to naturally flock towards organic. And another group of people are going to hate Facebook, and therefore it's just not going to work for them because they hate every minute they spend on the platform. It's all about finding what works for you and a framework that works in conjunction with your brand and your personality. This is one of the things and one of the reasons why I am so passionate about creating that brand strategy. Far too often, the clients I work with have a really specific idea about the tactics they want to use to market their business. But if you don't have the solid brand strategy in place, everything can just fall flat. If your brand strategy says that you want to come across as really authentic, but you're extremely uncomfortable on video, then video marketing's just not going to work for you. You're never going to feel authentic on video to your target audience because they're going to see how uncomfortable you are and they're going to wonder why you're so uncomfortable. So instead, I'd rather work with a person to figure out what would work for them. Maybe they're a gifted writer, or maybe they have one of those voices that would be fantastic for a podcast. These sound like pure marketing decisions at first, but in reality, it all comes down to your brand strategy. At the end of the day, your personality and how you want people to feel when they interact with you, that's what matters. Once you understand that, the rest of the decisions become a lot easier to make. I can't help but think that if I had a solid brand strategy before I even talked to that coach, I would have recognized that it wasn't a good fit and I would have saved my money and my time. Having a brand strategy makes that difference. If it's something that you need help with, you can learn much more about this on my website, which is jenniferanastasi.com. Can't wait to chat, and I'll see you tomorrow.